Listen to this important clip that Alex Karp talked about when Palantir was in the mid-20s.
What is it that you are providing that is different, and who do you compete with?
Well, I mean, you should ask the clients who are buying it what we're providing. But like what we're really doing is saying, okay, everyone's making the same claim. The claim is you can get a large language model to increase your output at a lower cost. So you get more sales, more revenue, higher margins.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're making the same claim. The only thing is we're not making a claim. We're saying we will show you while they tell you.
What?
We will show you and they will tell you. And that's exactly what we're seeing with Palantir right now. Alex showing us right here, closing at the highest record close that we've seen at 43.13. Palantir is continuing to make astronomical gains. We're going to be talking about everything you need to know, especially breaking this $40 level of resistance. Could Palantir be breaking its intraday all-time high that we have not seen in many years? And is $50 on the table, or is this rally going to fizzle out? If you are a new or returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos, and of course, then a financial advisor collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Now, like we mentioned, pop it up on the screen. Palantir closing at 43.13. We saw that important reversal being triggered at 39. So what we've seen is this acceleration of Palantir that is showing no signs of cooling down. This is being correlated with an AI boom. The broader market is looking healthy today. NVIDIA is even sitting at record highs, and we have the S&P that's also sitting at record highs. And we're seeing this momentum that is being even pushed with Palantir doing very well. And I think what we're seeing right now is a large institutional flow of hedge funds that are starting to put in a lot of capital into Palantir. Now, soaring to new 52-week highs, especially what's been going on. Of course, with a significant milestone for Palantir is the inclusion into the S&P 500. And really what we've been seeing is the expansion of AIP. Ever since that launch in 2023, we've seen the strides that have been made across various industries. And especially with the increased demand for these AI-enhanced platforms, Palantir is the leading competitor at the doorstep, bringing real utility for these clients with AI. And we've also seen strong growth, not only in the commercial side of things, but also in the governmental side of things, such as the Project Maven. So right now with Palantir closing at these highs, we're also seeing bullish news here that it even owns nearly 9% of an EV startup, Faraday Futures. Now, what happened here for Faraday Future, according to this new filing with the SEC, was that Palantir was granted more than 800,000 shares in this EV startup on October 2nd as a payment for certain outstanding receivables. Now, the equivalent of roughly $2.4 million right here, Palantir doesn't explicitly say what receivables were outstanding, but the companies quietly did enter a settlement earlier this year after the EV stopped paying the data company for services it agreed to buy all the way back in 2021. So instead, they had to give them some shares. And we're seeing 800,000 shares in particular because they weren't paying with the agreement and in the contract that they had signed. So it'll be interesting to see what Palantir does with this type of startup company, especially here, sorting out what they're going to do with all these shares. Interesting to see there. Palantir, though, looking just at this general overview, and we're seeing a lot of key metrics and financials that are still looking incredibly bullish for Palantir. And I think this is why we're starting to see a lot of institutional investment that is pouring into this stock. Financials, revenue growth up 27%, free cash flow 64%, cash and investments $4 billion. The balance sheet is quite incredible for Palantir. And one thing that will be creeping up is earnings. The anticipated announcement date is around November 1st, with earnings per share of about 9 cents. And one thing that we have seen is 11 earnings per share revisions that have been in the bullish direction. This means that Wall Street is continuing to improve their guidance on Palantir and continuing to raise the bar for those expected expectations. And along the line, like we had mentioned before, Palantir, the next AI leader, as hedge fund investments are starting to surge, and we're seeing more hedge funds that are becoming involved with Palantir. And especially here with this Renaissance management list, looking at some of their top stocks, Palantir is number 2 on that list. And specifically, the stake value from that is at $1 billion. So talking about that, revenue looking very well. Margin has been continuing to increase, and we're seeing total contract value increasing as AIP is starting to become almost like a virus across the board, but in a good way. And what we've seen are solid quarter reports that have been happening quarter after quarter, and how that's going to trickle into the next earnings is going to bring a lot of volatility to Palantir. I believe if we continue to see the acceleration in the market, and even with the probability that the soft landing will be actually achieved, I still see more momentum behind Palantir. And that is throwing all of the valuation out the window. Because as you can see, Wall Street, investors, retail, and institutional does not care at the moment. I repeat, you can see they do not care. And that is because Palantir is trading at a very high valuation. It's really one of the only things in the red right here is its high valuation as we speak. But with the AI demand, what we've seen across the board, the Dow Jones up 400 points, S&P hitting record highs, technology stocks are continuing to soar, powering higher as investors are really starting to shake off some of those Middle East geopolitical concerns that we've seen that have been risen over the previous few weeks. They're starting to kind of shake all that off. And right here, you have the Federal Reserve. Remember, they had cut their interest rate points by 50 basis points. The expectation is for 2 more 25 basis point cuts. So going into what the Fed is going to be doing in terms of what expectations are, is that we also have easing oil prices, and you have a lot of resilience that's happening in the economy. One thing that is going to be bringing more volatility to the broader market is going to be the September consumer and producer price indexes that are due out Thursday and Friday, respectively. And you're also going to have earnings season that kicks off with the big banks, JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo, reporting their earnings on Friday. So lots of exciting things happening in the broader market, and NVIDIA still doing incredibly well, steadying at this record high as the AI boom is continuing. Remember, AI, and especially with NVIDIA, they've been having a big event right now, displaying what the power of the Blackwell chip can bring. And we're seeing the demand for Blackwell that is continuing to increase. And even the CEO came out and said that it is insane regarding its demand. So NVIDIA sitting at these prices at 132. It will be interesting to see, will the higher price targets, people talking about 150, is that on the table? If we continue to see that acceleration across the board, that's where I think we can see Palantir getting into the $50 region. Nobody would have expected Palantir, I think, in the high 40s at this place in time just a few months ago. We've been tracking Palantir ever since the mid-teens and even the lower teens. The fact that it's up over 300% from that level, say at like $12 since we've been looking at Palantir, things have been going incredibly well. However, looking at entry points right now, this is where risk assessment is incredibly important, and to do your own due diligence. And that is because Palantir is on a big train right now, a train that is going straight up. At any time, there could be any types of fluctuations in the market, volatility that could cause any type of profit-taking cascade. So for the longs on Palantir that have gotten it right, congratulations. However, entry points at this, there is a lot of downside potential risk just due to the nature that Palantir is trading at these near all-time high levels. However, with that riskiness, you could continue to see accelerated momentum as this price discovery phase is starting to unfold before our eyes. A lot of exciting expectations down the line, especially with earnings about a month away. We're going to be keeping you guys up to date on everything you need to know, giving you guys daily updates. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. Make sure you continue to subscribe, watch the videos, and hit that like button. I want to know down in the comments, what are you expecting for Palantir by the end of the week? Do you think $50 is on the table in the near future, or do you think we're going to see a retreat back into the 40s or even the 30s? And what's your opinion on valuation? Because right now, it seems like nobody cares. A lot of interesting things on the table to acknowledge and to also negotiate. Peace out. Take care. I'll catch you guys later.